The Missouri River moved slow and thick, a muddy dividing line between Kansas and Missouri. But for 12-year-old Bones, it was the boundary between two different lives. It was the summer before 7th grade, and the air was thick with the scent of cut grass and the looming shadow of the football season. Bones sat outside with his Uncle Babe. A man who didn't just coach football, he forged men. For 3 years, Bones had traveled across the river to play in a youth league because his hometown didn't have a program. Now, finally, his junior high was starting a team. Bones was ready to play in front of his peers. Away from the relentless 2-hour straight discipline sessions his uncles enforced. "You ready for tryouts in 2 weeks?" Babe asked, his eyes sharp. Bones nodded, but he had a secret. He wasn't planning on coming back to the youth league. He wanted his own path, but there was a hitch in the rules. Back then, to coach a team, you had to have a relative on the roster. If Bones left, the coaching lineage snapped. "I'm playing for the school team this year," Bones said, holding his ground. Babe's face hardened. "You can't. You're going to be there." "The rules changed. Everyone tries out, and coaches pick their own teams now. You're staying." Bones felt the familiar trap closing in. His mother, the woman who demanded her boys have structure, backed Babe. "Your uncle needs you 1 more year," she said, "until your cousin gets back." Frustrated but determined, Bones looked at his mother and then his uncle and dropped the ultimatum. "I'll just play for both." The look on his mother's face was pure disbelief. 2 teams, 2 states, 2 schedules. But Bones had done the math. Junior high played Tuesdays. The youth league played Saturdays. If he could survive the practices, he could have both worlds. Tryout day arrived. Babe, a pusher by nature, gave Bones a chilling instruction. "I'm not guaranteed to get you. If someone else picks you, you start crying. Tell him you can't be away from your uncle. That's the only way to get you on my squad." Bones performed like an all-star. When a rival coach called his name, his heart hammered against his ribs. He forced the tears, put on the act, and cried his way back onto Babe's roster. Inside, he felt a chill. What have I done? Have I just sealed my fate? As they drove home, Babe looked at him. "Practice is next week." "Remember," Bones reminded him, "I'm still playing for the school." Babe just stared ahead at the road. "We'll see about that." The routine was brutal. Bones would finish his school practice, leave his grass-stained pants on, grab his second set of pads, and head across the river. He arrived an hour late every single day. In Babe's world, late was late. Coach Mo would point a single finger toward the horizon. "Hit it." The lap wasn't a standard track. It was 2 80-yard fields side by side, 6 laps under the watchful, unforgiving eye of Uncle Art. By the time Bones joined the drills, his lungs were burning. Babe didn't care that Bones was a linebacker. He threw him into the trenches with the 200-pound lineman. He wanted to break him. He wanted Bones to quit one team so he could focus on the real one. But Bones never complained. Not once. 4 games into the season, the exhaustion hit his report card. His mother stepped in. "Grades are slipping, Bones. Pick one or quit both." He was so close. He had 1 junior high game left and a playoff run with the youth team. He tightened his grip, pulled his grades up, and finished the marathon. He hadn't just occupied a spot. He played every minute of every game for 2 different teams for 6 grueling weeks. It wasn't until the drive up to Omaha for the All-Star tournament that the truth finally came out. Babe, the former cop who spent his own money to keep kids off the streets, looked at his nephew. He revealed that if Bones hadn't played, Babe wouldn't have been allowed to coach. And if Babe didn't coach, a half-dozen kids on that team, kids who looked at football as their only escape from the straight and narrow, would have been left out on the corners with no one to guide them. Bones realized then that his struggle wasn't just about his own independence. He was the anchor that allowed his uncle to save a dozen other brothers. He went into that tournament as a different person. He wasn't just a 7th grader anymore. He was an all-star, forged in the heat of 2 states, 3 uncles, and a river that couldn't stop him from doing exactly what he said he'd do.
Sometimes in life, we travel with blinders on. Remember, there are those out there who are willing to guide us so we can see